2008.
Oh,
Did they
man.
get some in the late 90s?
Might have been like 2000, maybe.
Let's see, we can look.
Yeah, since people can hear us, but they can't see us.
Yeah, you got in 2000. So 2008, 2000, 94, 92.
It.
So since the Bills last won it in 95, the Dolphins have won it twice. And the Jets have won it twice, and the Patriots have won it however many seasons remain.
A lot. They've won it a lot.
times.
Let's just say they've won it a lot.
They got it in 96, 97. Oh, you know who won? Dude, in 99, the Colts. No, the Colts won it in 1999 with a 13-3 record.
So the Colts have won the AFC East more recently than the Bills.
Yeah, chill. You know, Kyle, gosh. That's funny as hell when you put it that way, actually. The Colts.
Wasn't there some stat about like Seattle in the AFC did something more recently than somebody too? Do you remember talking about that?
No, but I'm gonna look up the AFC West Championship history and see where Seattle falls. Okay, Seattle won it in. Dude, they've never won it.
Oh, it's something about Detroit, I think.
Oh, 99. No, won it in 99.
Seattle?
Yeah. So
won the AFC
Chiefs, West. Yeah. How about that? The Seahawks and the Colts both won the division that they left.
Yeah.
Seahawks and Colts. So Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. They've all won it, which is good for them. The Raiders, it's been a minute, though. They had that run there in 2000, 2001, 2002 under Gruden.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have not had it since.
How's everybody doing in the comments?
Oh, gosh.
We see you.
I 100% forgot that we were live.
Oh, well, thank goodness no hot mic incidents happened there.
No, well,
I've already sent it in the premium Slack, and I've sent it on Twitter that like we're pre-gaming. So
people got a little taste there of our pregame. We're talking about.
This is literally how we
It's the beginning of the
do every show.
But we did learn that the Indianapolis Colts have won the AFC East more recently than the Buffalo Bills, which is
is correct.
Just ridiculous. Who was it had to be? Was it Peyton in 1999? They were 13-3.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, it was his second year. He chilled on all those interceptions he threw because he threw like 28 in his first year.
Did he really? Okay, so the Colts in 99, they were 13-3. Head coach Jim Mora, Bill Polian. Yeah, Edge James. No, they drafted Edge James. That was his rookie year. Good for them.
Can you confirm the three franchises that did not have first-round picks when we did our mock? Seattle, Houston, and the Rams, right?
I don't think there's any other team. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, one of the three losses the Colts had in 1999, week 2 against New England, week 5 against Miami, they beat them 34-31, and they lost to the Bills 31-6. That was the game, actually, as a matter of fact, that Rob Johnson lit up the Colts and started in the playoffs over.
Created all that false sense of security about. You have the Colts to blame. You have Peyton Manning to blame.
Little known wrench in the history of the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
Yep. Playoffs. Kyle.
Right.
Playoffs. You talking about playoffs? You kidding me? I just hope we can win another game.
There it is.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So allow me to hit everybody with our sick intro now, and then we'll get started. Would You Rather, episode 16, brought to you by our friends at Mighty Swell. All of the Draft Network's live streaming programming is brought to you by our friends at Mighty Swell, the new and best adult seltzer on the market. What up?
What's better than this? Guys being dudes here on the Draft Dudes podcast, presented by Locked On. It's Joe Marino and Kyle Krabs from the Draft Network, And we are your hosts here on this live episode of Would You Rather. It's live on a Thursday night in your podcast feed on a Friday. Kyle, we are presented by Pepsi. This football season will be different, and Pepsi is here to get you ready for game day no matter how you watch this season. Pepsi is a refreshment you need to power through any game day and become a member of the League of Football Watchers. These passionate fans are the real generational talent that Pepsi fuels, because Pepsi isn't made for those who play the game. It's made for those who watch it. Pepsi, made for football watching. Kyle, what's up, dude?
You didn't even want to do like pre-show after the pre-show.
Man,
you were like, all right, intro. Just roll.
I was so hyped seeing that sweet video. The great. I mean, I was like dancing a little bit because I knew people couldn't see me, but you could, which I totally forgot of. And it just felt like it was the right thing to do, man.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue too hard with you. Do you want to do the mock draft thing first? We made that obligation on Thursday's episode of Draft Dudes when we did the live, or not the live, we did the first round mock draft. We said, hey, if you didn't have a first round pick, we're going to do your selection here.
Yeah.
I think we should do it.
We should do it. Let's just get it out of the way.
Okay, cool. So that means we're doing a 2-round. I already picked the 3 teams. It's fast, right?
Yeah, we have to acknowledge that these picks that are going to be simulated are not the picks we made. So listen to the podcast and you can find out who we picked.
Yeah. So, but that won't come in conflict because Rams are right now a playoff team. Seattle right now is a playoff team, and Houston doesn't have one until the 3rd round. So there should be no overlap of players that we mocked in the 1st round that are on the board. So we're off and running here. A little craziness. Dave Gettleman just drafted Micah Parsons 2 overall, but that is what it is. So while we're waiting, the first team that we're going to have is the LA Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Think there'll be any quarterbacks there after? Oh, who's calling? Jets are calling the Rams trying to trade. No, we don't want to do this, do we?
No, because we won't be able to make a pick.
Get out of here.
They want to move up to 33.
Yeah, they want the Jets are trying to trade back and get us up to 30.
Are you going to try to get some takes in here about how the Dolphins defense dominated the Rams and all that?
Yeah, I was just going to make a joke about if there were any quarterbacks available at 53 that might be of interest.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Rams on the clock. Joe, Daniel Falele, Javon Holland, Terrence Marshall's gone. He's not available. Neither is Jalen Mayfield, correct?
Yeah, neither is Joseph Asai.
All right.
So I would be thinking about an edge rusher here, to be honest with you.
I'd be thinking about an offensive tackle here.
Which one do you like? Falele? Rob Havenstein 2.0?
No, I honestly, I might like Liam Eichenberg. He's here at 53.
Okay, so would you rather? Give me. This is a great scenario.
Liam Eichenberg.
Okay, and I'm going to pick an edge rusher. So comments, get ready. Do you want Liam Eichenberg, offensive tackle from Notre Dame for the Rams, or the edge if you'll sort it that way so I can see the edge defenders? Ooh. Azeez Ojulari from Georgia. Dip and rip bendy.
You boxed yourself into a corner before even checking to see who was going to be there on the board.
Because I feel like that's what they need.
I need a little Fleetwood Mac here with this ocean spray.
Yeah, you've been crazy with this.
Yeah, I'm now hooked. I'm hooked.
Because you watched the video, you bought some so you can replicate it, and now you just drink it all the time? Is that the sequence of events here? So, does anyone have any takes here? Do they want offensive tackle, Liam Eichenberg, or Azeez Ojulari, the edge from Georgia?
Here's the good news. I haven't seen any comments one way or the other. So you as a listener of the show, if you're listening after the fact, you can chime in and tweet at us and let us know what you would rather have. But my executive powers as the man running the machine is going to give him Liam Eichenberg. I feel like Houston should take this deal because I, like an idiot, only did a 2-round mock.
So them trading up into the 2nd round?
Yes.
They should not trade up.
I understand, but I only did a 2-round mock.
So
they don't have a pick until
picking for Houston.
The simulator bailed us out. Otherwise, we were going to have to do it on the cuff.
So fine. For the people that can't see this and are listening to it, we're going to do this trade with the Arizona Cardinals.
And this isn't a bad deal either. Houston gets 55 and 86, and they give up 68, 105, 124, and 205. They still keep their 3rd round pick.
All right.
That's a win. That's a win. Okay. So, all players available. Javon Holland, Marvin Wilson, Tyler Shelvin, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Paulson Adebo, Chris Olave, Richard LeCount, Chuba Hubbard, Christian Barmore, Trayvon Mooring.
And Shelvin can help replace Reader that they didn't replace.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that's got to be on the table for sure, right?
I see. We did have an overwhelming number of votes for Eichenberg.
Yeah, I saw that. Didn't want to acknowledge it, but the people will have this.
So, Houston. Tyler Shelvin makes a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends, a position of need. Are there any interesting tight ends here for Houston? No.
Nope. Hunter Long. But,
absolutely not.
But nope. What about corners? I thought I saw Paulson Adebo's available. That's about it. Darian Kendrick, if you like him. So do you want to go corner and Shelvin here? People are saying why not wide receiver? Well, I mean,
Terrence Marshall doesn't count. So it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave, Sage Surratt. And remember, they traded up for this player.
I'd be willing to wait. So
I don't want to do a corner because, I like the nose tackle idea too.
Marvin Wilson versus Tyler Shelvin?
Marvin Wilson versus Tyler Shelvin. So everybody in the comments, you have approximately 45 seconds to let your voice be heard. As we wait, they play Jacksonville this weekend, Joe.
Someone's got to win.
Who do you think wins? Coming off the bye.
You got to pick the team with a better quarterback in games like that. I'm like a markedly better quarterback.
You mean Jake Lutton's not moving the needle for you?
Right. I thought he had a chance as a developmental guy, but not in rookie starting games with a bad team around him.
Here we go. We have Shelvin, Wilson, Wilson, Shelvin's the pick. Oh, we got one more for Marvin Wilson. Come on. 5, 4, countdown, 3 comments. It's gonna be Tyler Shelvin. Okay, so Tyler Shelvin is the pick for Houston.
So now we got to
which leaves us just with Seattle. No, get out of here, Kansas City. We're not trading out.
So if you have a premium subscription, these are the great things that can happen to you when you run
these fun phone calls. You get some weird ones. Teams are like, hey, you want to trade all the way out and go into the third and we'll give you 1 next year? And I say no every single time.
Right, because that satisfies my appetite to make picks for this draft.
Poor Javon Holland.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Tumbling.
You feel like Seattle, a team that's given up 360 passing yards a game this year, should probably help the defense, right?
Yeah.
So Patrick Jones would make a lot of sense. Jalen Phillips would make a lot of sense for
Patrick Jones and Jalen Phillips are both kind of like their types.
Right.
Now.
Oh, Israel Mukawamu. Is he?
No, he's off the board.
I'll tell you, I gave them Mukawamu. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I gave Mukawamu in my actual mock. So I think it should be.
And there's no real safety that's moving the needle.
Well, they have Jamal Adams and Diggs right at safety. I think they're okay there.
So this has to be an edge.
Yep,
right?
I think so. Dude, they're playing Steven Sullivan at defensive end right now.
The former LSU tight end?
Yes, dude, he gets snaps at defense. I'm not
fake
kidding.
News.
No, I'm not serious.
I refuse to believe
You're playing him at defense. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about this, man. Unbelievable.
I assume you found this out in preparation for this week's game.
So obviously I'm really locked in on Seattle because I've been studying them for
goodness gracious.
Game. So
Alton Robinson's looked pretty good for them though.
He has. Yeah, he's done a nice job.
Pretty good for them.
So he played 22 snaps last week. He made his debut at defensive end. After they picked him in the 7th round.
All right, I'm taking Jalen Phillips. You want Patrick Jones?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, comments are lit. So we had Brian voted for Phillips and Patrick Jones from Fritz 901. So 45 seconds. We got Patrick Jones.
Somebody wanted. I'm guessing that's Adebo, right? Pablo.
Maybe.
I guess.
I don't know. Scientists don't even know, really.
We have 2 for Jones, 2 for Phillips so far.
Oh, Jones.
3 for Jones.
Asai doesn't count. He's already been picked.
Yeah, because he would
in not this simulation, but when Joe and I did our Draft Dudes podcast, Jones is coming on strong.
Yeah, PJ 2.
He's gonna be the pick. That's the pick.
Oh, the people love it. My guy's moving from Pittsburgh to Seattle.
I respect it. I respect it. So there you go. Liam Eichenberg to the Rams, Shelvin to the Texans, and Patrick Jones to the Seattle Seahawks.
Super on brand, us giving them big people.
Yeah.
I have a would you rather that I want to ask you this. I just want to see how you answer it because
I don't like where this is going.
Well,
you sound hesitant, but it's fine. Give it to me.
I'm having a hard time putting it on the platter, so I'm just going to ask you this because relocation in the NFL is a pretty normal thing. Right? We don't like it a lot of times. We feel bad for the team, the fans of that city, but it's a fairly normal thing when you look at the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I don't think you've ever thought about because it's never been in jeopardy is the Miami Dolphins leaving Miami. And so my question for you is, as somebody who's never lived in Miami, your allegiance to the Dolphins really isn't because you're from Miami, but you're obviously a big-time fan of the team. You cover the team, you do great work on them.
What gave it away?
I don't know.
Big-time fan.
I have no idea. Maybe it's a 2008 AFC East Division Champions shirt.
eBay, guys.
If the Miami Dolphins move to, let's call it San Antonio, Texas, would you rather continue to support the team just like you do, or would you take the opportunity to find a reading interest?
That's a good question.
I've faced this, but I mean, it's a different scenario because my love for the Bills comes from me being from there, right?
Right.
So,
I guess I kind of my attachment at this point in time is largely tied to the individuals in the building, right? And what they're doing and their process. And I got a great deal of respect for Chris Greer and Brian Flores and what they're building. So if Stephen Ross wanted to move the team, I'd probably go with him because I have an attachment to a lot of individuals that are a part of the franchise.
3 years ago might have been different.
Yeah, if it was Adam Gase, I'd be like, yeah, man, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It had never crossed my mind as far as what I would do in that scenario.
Yeah.
Sean, would you rather, I like this question, would you rather need/want a rangy coverage linebacker or a single high safety heading into this year's draft?
Really? That's interesting because it makes it very practical.
Yeah. I'd probably...
I know what I want.
I would want the safety.
Really? Who's in your mind? Paris Ford?
Mooring. The TCU
Trevor Mooring from TCU. Yeah. I think rangy linebacker, and we got Jeremiah...
Coverage linebacker.
Jeremiah Wusu-Kormo, Jabril Cox, Chaz Surratt.
Surratt in coverage, though?
He can move. Nick Bolton.
He can move. Is he sufficient in coverage? That's where I got stuck.
He's a little guessed. All right. I told you he does have some Alec Ogletree to him. I've said that about Chaz Surratt. I don't think people are ready to admit that yet, but he does.
So that's where, Andre Cisco has good ball skills.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got more flexibility to make sure I get my guy if I need a single high safety on day 2.
That's a good question because I think there's answers at both, to be honest with you. I liked it. I have this one from the Sports Nut that I think is really interesting.
Go ahead, pass it on.
Here we go. Would you rather, you're the Panthers general manager, this coming off season, you have a coach who is a program builder and a player developer on a long deal. You have a hotshot offensive coordinator. Would you rather, as the Panthers GM, trade for Sam Darnold or continue on with Bridgewater as if he's the long-term option, right? So, or draft Zach Wilson. So I think you have 3 options here. Trade for Sam Darnold, continue with Bridgewater as if he's the long-term guy, or draft Zach Wilson.
What do I have to trade for Sam?
I think you have to give up your first round pick.
That pick's going to fall somewhere between 8 and 15.
Yeah.
No, I ain't giving that up for Sam, so that's off the table. I'd probably go with Teddy in these three scenarios. Zach Wilson's super enticing, but like I got to do a lot of due diligence there before I would take him over a quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, who I think can be an average starting quarterback in the NFL. Now, do I think I'm going to win a Super Bowl with Teddy Bridgewater? No. But we're building a long-term program here, right? So you've got a hotshot offensive play caller in Joe Brady. Teddy's got a year in the system. I'd probably run it back with Teddy. Continue to build up the rest of my program. And then when it comes time, if I got to go all in, push all my chips on the table for somebody, once I feel like the rest of the roster is ready, I'm more willing and receptive to send 3-1s to somebody to go get up in the top 5 for a quarterback.
Yeah, we talk about this so much recently, at least between you and I, where these quarterbacks that are rookies, they go into these situations that are just awful, and they really don't get this opportunity to really show themselves. And, you know, I really would respect the Panthers for continuing to build up that infrastructure so that when they do kind of get that guy, they're going to be in good shape. If you told me it was a 2 for Sam Darnold, I think that would be my number one choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a low risk roll of the dice at that point for a 2.
But we talked about this, dude, like in our scouting meeting. When you look at the quarterback need across the league, someone's given up a 1 for Sam Darnold.
Yeah. It's going to be a team that's probably a playoff team with an older quarterback, but nevertheless, there's enough mouths to feed that if Sam Darnold becomes available, teams could say, yeah, I'll roll the dice on that. Colts, especially financially, Bears. Financially, you're trading for him. So you're not having to get into a bidding war and start getting crazy with free agent money either. You kind of get your hands on him before the contract expires, which is a big boost as well.
Dude, toss this one in there from Braden Holisek that came through at 746, one of the more recent ones.
Would you rather draft Daz Newsome or Kadarius Toney? Yes. The answer is yes.
Dude, fun players, man.
I don't really care which one I get.
Fun. Oh, they're both good after the catch. They both have ball skills and make stupid catches.
Tony's having a better year.
Yeah, he's having a better year, and he's like a little bit more like just a total dog sometimes, where it's just like the dude doesn't go down. And like, I don't know, like I've grown an appreciation for how quickly he stands up after he gets tackled. Like you could just tell he hates the idea of going down and getting tackled. And I don't know, man, he's just, there's like an elite competitive fire that exists with Tony that I gravitate towards a lot. Daz is a good player, but I think I'd rather have Tony.
Tony, I think, has got a little bit more scrap to him in his game. Speaking of like loving little things about getting hit, did you hear Tua was mic'd up for his start?
I haven't watched it yet, but
did you see the hit that he took from Brockers on the strip sack on his first drop back of the game? It cut to him on the sideline sitting next to Fitz, and he goes, "That hit felt so good." He said, "Thank you, Brockers. Thank you. That hit felt so good." So, and he got like planted like a tree on that play. He went straight into the ground. So that was in the end zone that I was sitting in. I said, "Oh God." He just disappears.
Was that really his first drop back?
Yes. They did a run on first down, and that was the drop back, and he tried to climb up into the pocket, and Donald contacted the ball in his hand, and then Brockers got an arm and like pretty much just rock bottomed him. I don't know if you're familiar with the Rock's finishing move, rock bottom.
Not familiar, no.
Yeah, up and down. No.
I mean, dude, 90s wrestling, I could talk to you about.
That's the Rock, 90s.
Like early 90s?
No, late 90s.
The Rock wasn't part. Like when I was watching wrestling, it was like Razor Ramon, and it was the Ultimate Warrior and Bam Bam Bigelow and the Bushwhackers. You know, I mean, we weren't doing.
What about Jake the Snake Roberts?
He was there, yeah.
What about Sting?
Sting was there, but I never liked him.
Yeah, he's kind of weird, right? Like he had the Crow vibe. Hard pass.
Macho Man.
Who you? Okay, Clinton Simmons.
Careful. We almost got in trouble.
It would benefit both Cleveland. This is a take. This is technically a takes on takes thing, but I think we're going to let it slide, right? Because it's still a hypothetical.
Sure.
It would benefit both Cleveland and the Patriots if there was a trade for Odell and a second or third for Gilmore. So Odell and a 2 or 3 for Stephon Gilmore, but Bill doesn't want Cleveland to succeed. I can't think of a place that would less like to have Odell Beckham than New England.
So you're going to trade?
Not because of the need, but rather just because Odell is a very loud personality.
Bill's done this, man. He's brought in Chad Ochocinco. He brought in Randy Moss.
Yeah, but they're not trading Stephon Gilmore.
Right. I don't understand this. You have a really good receiver coming off of a torn ACL. You're going to trade one of the best corners in the game for him?
Well, I guess that's tied to the hypothetical that Gilmore was apparently available at the trade market this year.
I mean, I like J.C. Jackson and Jonathan Jones. Like, I think they have 2 good corners. They should. I mean, it's a reasonable discussion, but wouldn't you want to get something like what the Jags got for Ramsey? I mean, Gilmore was the defensive player of the league last year.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want a torn ACL and a day 2 pick?
You don't. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't. You don't.
No,
I think we're both passing on that trade hypothetical. Yeah,
I am hard pass.
Halil wants to know if we would rather have the Giants or Washington coaching staff right now. It's Washington.
What's hard? What am I missing here? This is one of those those betting lines where
it's Vegas knows something I don't.
Yeah, what don't I know
sucker
here?
Bet.
What don't I know here? It's Washington, man.
You watched the Giants game last week, right?
Yes.
You see, I think it was against Philly, right?
No, the Giants played Tampa.
No, the Philly game. You see the Philly game? Because that was a primetime game too.
That was like a Thursday? Yeah, I watched the game. I did. That was the Daniel Jones tumble game.
Remember the their head coach, Joe Judge, special teams guy. So the punt team's out there for the Giants. And the gunner is standing up here on the far sideline. And there's nobody, like social distancing to the max. There's nobody within 20 yards of this guy. And it's like 4th and 5. And he's waving his arms at the snap at the punter. And the punter gets it and kicks it anyway. He could have walked it over and take a lap. He could have walked it over and handed it off to him, and they still would have got the first down. That's how wide open he was.
What about this one from Luke Badsgard at 7:49 p.m.?
Okay.
One before that actually was the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your choice at quarterback. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Trevor Lawrence? 2 are proven, 1 is not. That one has crazy potential, though.
I know my answer to this.
It's Trevor.
It's Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Dude, so here's the thing. I got this question over the summer for Locked On Bills. Somebody said, would you rather have Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? And I picked Joe Burrow.
Correct.
And so obviously that wasn't the best, space to have a take like that, but I just answered the question that was given to me. And so
there's
here
no
I am.
shame in that.
I know. So here I am picking Trevor Lawrence over Josh Allen. Bills Mafia, please take it easy on me. Let's pretend this didn't happen. How would you rank them though? If you make it a little bit more interesting here, we both have Lawrence at 1. Would you then have Allen?
Depends on my coaches.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I mean, if I don't have Greg Roman, do I trust your average offensive coordinator get the most out of Lamar Jackson?
No. I agree with that.
And I think you need a little bit more specific. Now, Josh has some specificity with how good his wide receivers are in Buffalo. I think their 1 through 4 is the deepest 1 through 4 in the NFL. Would you agree with that? When they're healthy? If they're not,
yeah, I mean you're talking 4 deep. Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you think about that, and you think about the tight ends with Lamar, and if you change teams, who would be better?
Oh man, Josh
in Baltimore would be better.
Yeah.
than what Dable could do with him, could do with Lamar?
Yeah.
With a true spread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is a good question from Kyle about financials in the NFL.
Is this you? Let me give this to you.
Okay.
Would you rather Xavier Howard and his contract or Gilmore and having to pay $22 million per for 4 years?
I don't think I want to pay anybody $22 million a year unless they're a top flight quarterback, right?
Ramsey got 21, right?
20, yeah. I don't know if I would want that either. Xavier Howard's getting like 15.
Right. So the Dolphins had like Jones and Howard on these at the time big corner deals. And
as of when Jones signed his, they were the first and third most expensive corner contracts in the entire NFL. And now they're like 4th and 7th. And we still need to get Marshawn Lattimore signed. So
I didn't think that. Yeah, because you had Trey White, you had Humphrey, you had Ramsey.
So Byron's at least 4.
Slay got paid
more
Slay
than got
Jones.
Paid. Yeah, so Byron's now 5.
So yeah,
you've gone from 1 and 3 to 5 and 7 in a span of 4 months for a corner duo that's allowing an average quarterback passer rating of like 61 when they're on the field together.
All right.
Braden, side note, is Marshawn Lattimore not going to get paid by the Saints? I don't see it. Where are they getting the money? I'm sure they'll restructure some additional contracts and manufacture some space, but like Drew Brees comes off the books and you're still $40 million over the cap next year.
Drew Brees comes off the books in 2023, sir. They've deferred like $5 million to 2022 in 2023. So here's a would you rather. Would you rather figure out a way to keep and pay Marshawn Lattimore, right? Or tag and trade him for a 1 and a 2?
I'm tag and trading him.
But you're not getting 2 1s, you're getting a 1 and a 2.
That's fine.
A 1 this year and a 2 next year.
You can't give me the 1 and the 2 in the same year.
No. You want Marshawn Lattimore?
How about a 1 and a 3 this year?
And a 3 next year.
And a 3 next year.
Okay.
Done. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I'll get that off the books. You can find good cornerback play. There's plenty of them. And they might not be as good as Marshawn Lattimore, but like this is the grave you dug when you chose to handle the cap the way you did.
Like the Sheldon Rankins deal, did you see this?
What about it?
So they because they're in so much trouble, right? Like they're going to be like pushing $100 million over the cap. And if my computer would load this page, we'd all be much happier. Let's go, please.
Suspense is killing me.
Okay, so Sheldon Rankins, he they deferred some. They're paying him next year, and he's not even under contract. So that's what
we've seen a couple of these kinds of contracts. Remember, we stumbled upon these when we were doing the San Diego Scouts expansion draft.
He's got a $2 million cap hit next year and $4 million in dead cap, and he's not signed. He's not on the team.
Right. So I think they took like $6 million and they deferred it for the next several years.
Just
money that he's already been paid. So you're not getting off the hook with it. At this point, you'd have to get him under contract again and further restructure it to clear that money off the books.
Keep kicking it.
Yeah, Vontel, we saw your question, man. We're going to get you to deal. Don't worry.
All right, let's get to Vontel. What does he got?
He must think this is a good one.
All right.
Who would you rather bet on lasting longer before reacting negatively? Kyle versus Adam Gase or Joe versus Rex Ryan?
There's no question what the answer is.
Joe versus Rex Ryan.
And it's just our personalities. I'm more built to handle some long suffering than you are.
No. Yeah. I'm more peaks and valleys, right?
Right. And I ride them with you, bro.
You have a steady uptick.
Right.
And every once in a while you let it bubble over a little bit, but I'm all peaks and valleys.
It's a great contrast in our personal conversations we have.
Adam Holt. Let's end with this one. Would you rather have the all Alabama NFL front five plus corners or the all Mississippi State NFL front five plus corners? So it is Simmons, Cox, Jones, Sweat, Smith, Slay, and Dantzler, or Payne, Quinnen, Tomlinson, Allen, Anthony, Humphrey, Diggs.
So I think you have a better Diggs. Oh no, he's not been good.
Trayvon Diggs. He's got like 9 PBUs, but he's like allowed the most receiving yards in the NFL this year so far.
Humphrey's the best corner. Slate.
I think I'm taking Mississippi State.
Me too, man. Simmons, Cox, Jones is just ridiculous.
Let's read through it, right? It's Justin Simmons, Fletcher Cox, Chris Jones, Josh Sweat, Preston Smith. Montez Sweat. That's what I meant. Yeah. And Preston Smith. That's a really good front five.
That's unbelievable, man.
That's a really good front five. You treat that like a 3-4, and those are your 5 men on the line of scrimmage.
Good night.
With corners, Darius Slay and Cameron Dantzler. Man, you could take or leave Cameron Dantzler.
We got that. We have that in front of it, though.
Right. And then Daron Payne, Quinnen Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, John Allen, Anthony Jennings, Marlon Humphrey, Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, I'm taking Hail State. Where's my
Adam
cowbell?
said, I saw this on Twitter, so I wanted to ask. That's a great hypothetical.
Perfect.
That is what this show is built for. Terrific. This is, you have the little...
You know what? I've been looking for it the whole time, but my daughter
couldn't
got
find
a hold
it.
of it. Yeah, no,
this is my dad went to like Hawaii and got this little thing that sits on my bar.
What a blessing to be able to get up each day and
do it all over again. So it just sits right here. It's like a nice little reminder, right?
Yeah.
Every day is a new day. So that's my prop because I don't have a legit prop.
I have a new prop that I'm introducing next week for Takes on Takes.
Okay. I've got a watch. I got a dice.
It's better than the approval Maraca.
Oh, really?
It's much better than the approval.
Oh, well, make sure you guys hit subscribe to find out what the hell that's all about. Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, Would You Rather, Draft Dudes Live, YouTube. If you missed it on YouTube, make sure you check us out. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel for the Draft Network. Hit subscribe on the podcast of the Draft Dudes. Come on back, see us again. We hope you guys enjoy football this weekend and enjoy Thursday night football tonight if you are watching live with us.